When a clinical trial is complete, how do we share the results, and who needs to know?
All trials have a pre-specified minimum length of follow-up, which means a minimum period of time in which we have to observe the patients taking part in the trial. And this will be the time from the last patient enrolled in the trial until the trial is closed. And once that minimum period is completed and we wanted to report on the results of the trial, the database is locked. What does that mean? It means that from that date onwards, nobody is allowed to make any changes in the data. And once the database is locked, the analysis starts and then is reported to the trial steering committee. As soon as the analysis is completed, the first step is to communicate the results to the stakeholders. This is done by presenting results in conferences and then giving a bit more details in the results which are submitted to peer-reviewed journals.
Communicating the results of our trials at conferences and in journals is important, but we also need to use other approaches to reach different audiences.
PR07 was a trial to look at the best treatment for men with locally advanced prostate cancer. Now, before the trial, there was a feeling that the right treatment was with hormone therapy, which is very commonly used anyway, and the feeling was that hormone therapy by itself was enough. This trial was designed to answer the question as to whether that was really true or whether adding radiotherapy into the hormone therapy was beneficial. The PR07 study showed very clearly that it was the right thing to do to add radiotherapy to hormone therapy in patients with locally advanced prostate cancer. Very clear result. In fact, by adding radiotherapy, the chances of dying of prostate cancer were roughly halved. So once we had the results from this trial, it's obviously important to let people know what's happened.
We did this by producing a results sheet designed specifically for patients and their families. And we sent this out to doctors and asked the doctors to pass this on to the participants and their families when they're able to do so.
It's always a particular pleasure when you've run a clinical trial or taken part in a clinical trial and you have the results. When you see the patients in the clinic and you're able to tell them yourself. And that's been a real pleasure.
So it's important to let the broader patient community know the results of a study, not just the patients that were in a trial. So we worked with a number of groups to try and do this. We held a meeting with a number of the key stakeholders, Cancer Research UK, the Prostate Cancer Support Charity, Prostate UK. We got them together and we told them the results of the study. We expressed to them what we thought the positives and negatives were. We heard from them what they thought the positives and negatives were. And then we worked to put articles into their newsletters to let the information be known to the broader community that's out there as well. And hopefully that tells them about the results, but hopefully it also lets them know about research that's ongoing, helps people feel more comfortable about engaging in research in the future.
Another thing that we're trying to do is to work very hard with the policymakers in the UK so that they are aware of the trial results and they're able to translate that into policy.
So we worked with our groups internally and both with the lead investigators in the study here to feed information through to the research networks, to feed information through to NICE and the review process that are ongoing. We tried to do this both for the UK and outside of the UK as well.
In some trials, we have press releases to all the media and we have policy briefing. This is the sort of thing which was done in the FEAST trial, which was done in Africa.
The FEAST trial, which is the fluid bolus trial of giving fluids rapidly to children in shock with either malaria or bacteria in their blood, septicemia. To our extreme surprise, the trial was stopped early because there was more than a 3% excess death rate in the children who received the boluses. And that was a big surprise. We looked at the results and moved fast to publish the results, which came out in the New England Journal of Medicine last year. And within a few weeks, we had lots and lots of commentaries written about it. So there was a lively debate going on in the medical journals about the trial. In addition to that, in order to get the messages out there, we've used other techniques as well. I mean, certainly film can be quite a good way of telling a story about a trial, which was done with the DART trial. And then policy briefs. So in other words, deconstruct what are the policy implications from a trial, distilling out the key messages from a trial.
We hope that by communicating the results of our trials well, we can help to ensure that they influence how patients are treated, which will ultimately improve outcomes for patients and save lives.